We were called to this swarm in Timperley today. It was on an apple tree, and because of the bad weather, our branch had fallen off and half the colony had ended up on the floor. So the first thing Gareth did, as usual, was to cut down the swarm that was up in the apple tree. And he's going to shake this into the box. Now this was much bigger swarm than we'd expected. There's about 20,000 bees in there. It's hard to tell exactly. So he's going to shake that in and hope that the queen's in there. This is always my favourite part, when he gives it a good shake. And there we go. So he shakes them in. And then on the floor, the branch that fell off the tree, he was going to shake it in, but then decided they can walk in along with the rest of them on the floor. So he gives them a little shake, and that's the big pile that was on the floor. Now, on the front of this hive box, there's an entrance. And what we're waiting for, because all the bees are already on the floor, and we're waiting for them to go in through the entrance. One of the questions was, why didn't they rejoin the original swarm up in the tree? Because they've had a few hours to rejoin them. It's strange, but bees, when they're swarming, don't like to fly. So if we can give them a hive that they can walk into, they'll happily follow each other in, but they really, really don't want to fly at any point. So this was about 2 minutes later, and you can see they're now streaming in. They're all going in. They're going to cover the front of this hive box. It is literally like watching water stream in. So I'm watching them all go in. And then finally, the last few were there, and we noticed that there was a small clump that wasn't rejoining the rest of the colony. So we're going to be giving them a helping hand shortly. That's the small clump. Now, these swarmed because honeybees are unique in that they swarm to reproduce. They can lay lots of eggs in the colony, but to reproduce and start a new colony, they have to lay a new queen. And so this one was a prime swarm, which means that the original queen would have flown off with half the colony, and they're now looking for a new place to live. We offered them a suitable hive box, and hopefully, in this case, they have chosen to stay. Now, this little clump couldn't get to the other bees because there's a bit of a tuft of grass that blocked their route, hence why Gareth was trying to pull up the grass. Instead, he gets his trusty card, and yes, I know all the jokes about the nectar card. He's just giving them a bit of a shove, flicking a few of them more towards the hive, flicking a few towards me, I might notice. And they will now realise that they need to go across that tuft of grass and rejoin.